Hey, I'm Miniature Mike. This is the first video of my new channel I'm starting, called Miniature Mike. So please subscribe if you like this video so that we can kind of grow this a little bit. I know the community for Star Wars miniatures by Wizards of the Coast is pretty small these days, but I think there's a lot of people out there who are still interested, and one of the reasons I decided to make this channel is just because when you're looking through YouTube, looking for content, there isn't very much out there by way of discussion, people talking about it. There's some videos where people talk about kind of playthroughs and how the game used to work, but I thought it would be really fun to kind of go through all the sets, maybe go through characters later on, types of characters, and then just kind of see where it goes from there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through each set in one video. Right now I'm going to cover Rebel Storm, the first set, and then after this I'll do Clone Strike after that, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so all these photos from this, they all come from the Rebel Scum Photo Archive. I'll put a link in the description below. And then I also get a lot of information from Blue Milk. I'd say Blue Milk's probably the best Star Wars miniatures website available, and there's still people on it all the time whenever I kind of log on. But yeah, just a little bit of background. I did Star Wars miniatures a long time ago, almost 20 years ago when it first came out, and then stopped for many years, and probably 2 years ago got back into it, trying to collect everything. It's taking a long time. It can be a little expensive, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun, especially these days. With all the different Star Wars stuff going on, it's fun to go back to Legends era, and this is a great game. So anyway, I'm just going to jump into it and get started with it. Please leave comments if you have disagreements or you think someone should be rated higher or lower. Please let me know. I'm going to try to rank these as best I can to be fair to all the sets. I know for people who are familiar with the game, as the sets come out, there's definitely some power creep, and the earlier sets become less useful. But I'm going to try to be mindful of that, and I'm going to try to just look at characters by themselves, maybe a little bit with combinations. You can do all sorts of combinations to make any character great, but I'm not even going to go there. I'm just going to try to stick with the character, try to be fair to the set it came out in, just talk about it, and then if you have any comments, please raise them and see what other people think. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. So yeah, I just got the setup on over here. Got the card again. The photos credit to the contributors a long time ago at the Rebel Scum Photo Archive, and then I'm just using the generic tier maker list. I imported all the photos so I could try to make this a good job, and yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. So let's just jump in. We're going to start with Forlom. Man, he's an interesting one because a lot of the characters in the early sets aren't as great, and there's better versions of Forlom later, but this one's just decent. I think he's decent for what he does. He's a decent shooter. Like, if you're hitting a unique character, 16 attack, 21, costing 21, and only having 70 hit points, that's not that. I don't think that's too bad. Definitely he's kind of been passed by, but I'll just start with throwing him in B tier. I actually made tier list of all these a while ago, so I'll be probably following that a little bit, but we'll see. If I change my mind, I'll move people around. But I think he's just decent B tier shooter. Not bad, but definitely from the early sets, he's a guy that I could see myself using a little bit more. Okay, Obi-Wan Kenobi. So maybe a little controversial. In my opinion, I'm just throwing this guy straight to S tier. For 38, yeah, in later sets there's better characters maybe, but he's got a lot of utility. You can get him into a position. He can heal a little bit if you want. You can just kind of charge with him, sweep, kind of get him to die fast, and then you can use his Force Spirit 8 to just kind of super buff one of your other Jedi that you want to be doing a lot of your damage and kind of doing stuff for you. So I think, yeah, there's other versions of this Kenobi that we'll get to in later videos, but I think he's just awesome, super awesome. And there's other characters, like I'm thinking Qui-Gon Jinn Jedi Master. He's like a weaker version of this, but he kind of is better in some ways. But But just having Force Spirit 8, kind of giving the Master of the Force 2, it's just so good. It's just such a good power. So if you disagree, A tier, I could see that, but there's not very many high tier characters in Rebel Storm, so I'm going to try to be fair to some of them. Bespin guards, I don't really care for these too much. Like, they're cheap, kind of, yeah, but they have terrible stats and advantageous covers conditional. So I don't hate these guys, but I'm just going to stick them down to D tier for now. Not a whole lot of people can help them out, and the ones that do, I don't want them helping them out. So I'm just going to stick with this. Advantageous cover's fine, 20 defense and cover, like, that's nothing to laugh at. That's decent. It's pretty solid for sure. But they can't hit anything, and they don't do very much damage, and there's better options, so I'm going to put them down there. Okay, so Boba Fett, the first Boba Fett, I'm going to drop him in A tier. He's expensive. He's not as flashy as all the Boba Fetts we've seen after this, but man, he's good. He has all the tools you need to work. He's solid stats. He can fly, and accurate shot and bounty hunter, so you can pinpoint the targets you want and have great attack against them. And then if you don't move, then obviously you can hit him twice. So I think for what he does, I'd still say A tier. Yeah, maybe if he came out in one of the later sets, I'd bump it down a little bit, but I think you can still find a lot of utility even with the basic Boba Fett. So I think I'm fine putting him in A tier for now, and you'll see as we go along. I think definitely more characters. That there's kind of that power creep. So I'm going to try to be fair to these ones, but I think the old Boba Fett, he's totally fine. Totally fine with what he does. He's pretty good, so I'm going to stick him in A tier. Okay, Bosk. Oh, this was a tough one because, love this bounty hunter. He's decent, but he kind of just sucks. Like, double claw attack, good luck. You're never going to get that off. You'll be dead. You'll be dead before you get there. Yeah, you'll be dead before you get there. Bounty hunter, sure. You can get off a shot against someone, maybe. The defense isn't too bad either. I just don't. I'm going to put him in C tier, not D tier, though. Like, yeah, you can use him a little bit. I like the defense being okay compared to Dengar, which we'll get to in a second. But I just don't love him. I just really don't love this guy. Like, I'd take Forlom over him for sure. Forlom's much better stats, not that much more expensive, and you'll definitely hit. So, yeah, I'm going to go with that. Let's move on to Boffin Spy. These guys I don't care about them. Grenades 10, yeah, it's fine. Whatever. Terrible stats, though. At least they can shoot. I'll put them above these guys. Like, grenades is fun sometimes, but it's easy to counter, especially in some situations. Yeah, I'll just keep them down there. Not a big fan, but not terrible. Okay, C-3PO. What do I think about him? I'm going to put him into... Yeah, I think I'm going to put C-3PO into B tier. He's cheap. He has draw fire, so if you want a cheap person in there to kind of mix things up, cheap person in there to, I don't know, try to preserve some of your guys, act as that kind of like pseudo bodyguard, I think he's fine. I think he does that just fine. He'll probably die in a hit or two, but he did his job. Yeah, I'm fine putting him in B tier. I think he's still usable later on, but obviously I probably wouldn't use him. But as a draw fire piece, very cheap. I don't see that there's too much wrong with him. Okay, I really like the new Chewbacca. Let's say the old Chewbacca. There's a bazillion Chewbaccas. My favorite one is the Universe one. There's just so much utility in that Chewbacca. I'm going to stick this guy. I probably shouldn't, but I'm just going to stick him in A tier. There aren't too many people in A tier from Rebel Storm for me. I could see putting him in B tier. He doesn't cost too much. Great stats, so he's pretty beefy. He's momentum and cleave, and those work awesome together. So if you get him in a situation where he's charging up to someone, he'll have solid attack, 30 damage. And if you hit them, then you can hit the next guy for 30 damage too. And potentially he can be a pretty decent piece to just try to knock out some of those cheaper things with less hit points. Again, for what he does, I think that's pretty good. And maybe in later sets, yeah, he's kind of outclassed. But for Rebel Storm, I think he's awesome. He's definitely one of the better pieces in Rebel Storm for sure. So I'm a fan, definitely a fan of him. These guys, I'm not as much of a fan of. I'm gonna put him down here. I'm not sure if I. Yeah, I'm gonna put him down here. I'm gonna put Bosk below him. Um, yeah, he's 21, so it's the same, almost basically the same price as, yeah, almost just a little bit cheaper. The Empire version's better, but the thing with these, yeah, they're just so weak. You know, yeah, they can fly. If you get into a position, you can move 12 squares, maybe shoot some people. The attack's kind of crappy, but it's not too bad. And then you're gonna be dead instantly. So I just don't love these things. I'll put them in C, avoid them from D. They're not that bad, but like I don't know. They're just kind of fun, but I'm not a big fan of them. I'm sure with any of these pieces, as a big disclaimer, you can use all sorts of commanders and combinations to make someone who kind of stinks amazing. I don't want to get into the weeds too much right now on this, but for now, bottom tier. Dengar, he's better. Do I really like him more? I don't like either of these guys too much. Yeah, I'm gonna put him right here. He's cheaper, little bit better stats overall, and I don't even care about double claw attack anyway because I'm gonna be dead before I use it. So yeah, I'll put him top of C tier. You know, for 15 points, pretty solid stats, and he's bounty hunter, but he has nothing else going for him that really excites me. Maybe B tier, but I think Forlom's better as the bounty hunter to be in B tier. I'm gonna keep him down top of C tier for now. Okay, this Sand Trooper on Dewback. So the thing I love about this, he shoots, of course, great defense, tons of hit points. They can squeeze, momentum. So you know if you can get up to someone kind of close, you'll be able to have just a better attack a little bit. And you have the hit points to get to someone close. So I kind of like him for only 15 points. That's what you're getting. I mean, I don't know if I'm bold enough to put him all the way up there, but I'll put him right here in B tier. I'm a fan. You know, not too bad. Not too bad for Rebel Storm character. Definitely a fan of that. Duros Mercenary. These guys are terrible. Do I want to put them down? I'm gonna put them at the bottom. The reason they're terrible is they cost 6, and if you compare them to a Stormtrooper who has 2 more defense and 2 less attack, they cost 5. And these are not soldiers. They're not anything else. They have mercenary, although I'm still unclear if they actually have the mercenary ability since they're so old. I think they do include it now. Again, I'm getting back into the scene of the community. There's plenty to get caught up on stuff, but I don't love these things. I'd take the Bespin Guard because at least they can get more defense and cover, and you can buff attack other ways. It's harder to buff defense. These stink. Palpatine, yeah, he's pretty awesome. I'm gonna put him atop. I think he's the best character in the set. He's great. Only 40 points. Great defense. You know, it's solid. 130 hit points. There's ways to keep him alive. Awesome commander effect. Force Lightning's great. I hate Sith Lightning. Force Lightning's awesome. It's a great power to use if someone's going to get too close to you. He already starts with a lot of Force as renewal, and then his commander effect's awesome. Letting everybody use your Force points. Other people can spend their Force points. That's so helpful. He's just a great Force battery. Obviously, there's other... You know, when you get to the end of it, I think in Dark Times, when you get to Emperor Palpatine on throne, that gets out of control. So that force battery is obviously crazy, but for Rebel Storm, this guy's total S tier. Awesome. I still use him sometimes when I'm messing around. I really like these guys. For this one, Rebel Commando, not bad. Stealth, grenades is fine. Of course, these get buffed later on with some other people. But just by themselves and kind of in the set, they're not super remarkable. I'll just probably drop them in C tier. I think I like them a little bit more. Yeah, I like them a little bit more than these guys. Dengar is just about the same price, but better stats, I'd say. But they also have stealth. Yeah, I think I'm going to put this guy above Dengar. It's kind of tough. Where did I put him before? I put him I'm going to put him right in front. Having stealth really helpful. And then grenades is fine, but I don't really care about that as much. But yeah, for a C tier unit, for putting in C tier, I think that's solid. Top of C tier for now. Ewoks. So I know you can do a lot of things with these. They're cheap. Um, they'll die fast, but you can kind of swarm with them. Yeah, swarm will give them a little extra attack. Big deal. Um, Man, I don't love these things. I really don't. I mean, obviously, there's lots of commander effects and crap you can do to make them kind of scary and wacky. But I just don't really see myself ever using these guys. But I'll put them on the top. If you get big groups of them, you could do some. You could do some pretty crazy things. So I'll put them top of D tier. I'm not gonna. I may not even ever put anything in F tier. Honestly, we'll see. But we'll do D tier on that one. Um, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Ewoks. They are cheap, which is really nice. So that's kind of why they're high D tier. But other than that, there's better options for Ewoks. Elite the Rebel Trooper, kind of same thing. Man, these all look the same. I don't love these things. I mean, I'd rather have defense than attack. Personally, I'd rather have people have a less chance hitting me if I miss someone. At least I'm not dead. So, yeah, these things stink. I'll put them even down here. And 20 hit points. Yeah, 7 attack is kind of nice, but I'm not a fan. I think. Yeah, I'll put him in the Bestman guard. I'd rather have the defense from him, and then these things are just terrible. So, not a fan. And then the Rebel Troopers, you'll see there's a big difference between the Rebel Trooper and the Stormtrooper. The Stormtrooper is kind of the counterpart. 1 less attack, 3 more defense. That's, to me, is huge. Just so huge. I think both of these stink. I'm going to put them above. Yeah, I think. Oh, hold on a second. What was this? Yeah, just 2 more attack. You can buff attack other ways for cheaper, and 20 damage, you're going to die anyway. I'll put them above the Elite Rebel Trooper. Ah, man, I still hate I really don't like Rebel Troopers. I'd use anything else in the Rebels, but Rebel Troopers, not a fan. Good morning, guards. Again, these things stink. They're just bad stats all around. They're kind of cheap. But you're never going to use Mighty Swing. I mean, you'll approach an enemy, you might attack them, and then you're dead. So they're not as bad as these, but I'd rather have someone who shoots, at least in the Morning Guard. I don't know. Yeah, not feeling it. Greedo, yeah, I'll put you in C tier. He's a really cheap shooter, and he can get a good attack. He can get a 14 attack off 20 damage, for only being 12. I mean, I'll put you in C tier. Definitely better than Bosk. Do I like you more than this? I'll keep this down here, Bosk. Yeah, I like him more than Bosk for sure. I just as a bounty hunter, I might even drop him down to D, but I'll keep him where it is. Han Solo, definitely top of B tier. There's other solos that cost about the same with more bells and whistles, and those are better. But I mean, he's pretty good. He's the only solo, as far as I remember. There might be another one that has a force rating, so that can actually be pretty nice. There's things you can do that can actually kind of make that kind of fun, but it's nice to have a force rating. Accurate shot and cunning attack. Those are 2 great combinations. You'll get a good shot off on whoever you want. He is kind of expensive. I'm definitely not going to put him A tier. I'm not that crazy, but I think for B tier, that's totally appropriate, especially for Rebel Storm level where it's all kind of low. There's very few characters that are really awesome in the Rebel Storm, but for the set, I think B tier is great. Elite Hoth Troopers. Are these B tier, C tier? I mean, they have much better stats. Kind of like I like the. You'll see I like the Snow Troopers a little bit better. They're same cost, but I think they have 1 more defense. I think last time I put these in C tier. Yeah, they're fine. I mean, they have decent stats for how cheap they are. You could even argue maybe they're more useful than Dengar is. I'll put them down ahead of this. I'm not a fan of these speeders. They're cool, but nah. Hoth Troopers, just regular Hoth Troopers. Nah, they don't float my boat. Nah. I think I'd prefer them to Rebel Troopers. Do I? Yeah, they have more defense. I prefer defense over stuff. I'll put them. Yeah, I'll put them right down there. Not a fan. Not a fan of Rebel Troopers at all. Any kind of Rebel Trooper. But the Rebel Officer, though, man, I think I ranked this thing too high. Because it's non-unique followers, just get +2 attack. That's pretty general, kind of. Depending on how you construct your squad, it can benefit a lot of people. They are kind of expensive, but that is kind of helpful. Definitely not anywhere up here. I think I'll drop them. Yeah, I'll drop them down here. I mean, you got to be kind of close to your guys to make it work, but it works for a lot of characters. A lot of characters, and if you construct your squad right, it can be helpful to get that extra attack. But I'm probably ranking this too high anyway. I'll leave them there for now. There's 60 people to get through, so I'm not even gonna bother. IG-88. Wow, I can't believe I made this a B tier character. Yeah, I'll put him at the bottom of B tier. So the reason he's down here, he's so expensive. He's got great attack, double attack, that's great. But he only has 80 hit points, and for 37, he's gonna get blown up so fast. But like, he does have great attack. He will nail his target. But jeez, do I really want to? Man, I kind of hate putting him this high. Yeah, I'm gonna put him down bottom C tier. I love IG-88 as a character in Star Wars, but this version of him is just really underwhelming. Um, Good attack, but for the price, he's underwhelming. Like great attack, but man, I can't get behind that. Imperial officers, different story. I love these things. Yeah, they kind of don't do much else but their commander effect, but that's such a good commander effect with certain pieces. If you mix them in, just giving someone an extra shot, I think's awesome. I'd say B tier is probably kind of where I leave it at. I had these things towards the bottom of B tier before. I like the dewback more though. I'll put them right here. Yeah, I think this is a good spot. Yeah, I'll put them right here for now. I'm a fan of that commander attack, commander effect. It can be really nice, to give someone a good piece, a good shooter, or maybe even a good melee piece to just let them go one more time. It is non-unique follower, but there's lots of options that you can go from with that. So I'll say B tier. I'm a fan of the commander effect. It helps a lot. Ithorian Scout. So this is kind of a hot take. I think these things are awesome for 6 points. Think of having 2 Ewoks instead for 6 points. You have terrible defense. But you have 20 hit points. But you have stealth. You have stealth and cunning attack. So you can use that stealth to your advantage. You have 8 attack, 20 damage. And then there's plenty other commander effects. Like I said, I don't want to get too much into those weeds, but there definitely are pieces out there that can make this really nice for just 6 points. For just 6 points, oh man, I'm a huge fan of the Ithorian Scout. I'll put him in A tier. I had him in B tier before, but I'll put him even. I'm getting bold right now, but I know on paper they kind of suck, but I think the potential with this, how cheap it is for 6 points, having stealth, having cunning attack, plus everything you can pile on top. Sign me up. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this piece. Jabba the Hutt. Oh boy, he's so expensive. Oh my gosh. The commander effect's great. Nice to give your bounty hunters a little extra attack just against everything. So I don't dislike that. That's fine. He is gonna take a while to kill, but if you think about it, his fringe reinforcement's 30. So the cool thing is you can see the squad. Then you can choose what 30 points you want to counter the squad, which is nice, but he still costs 50, so it's like kind of a net 20 thing right there, so he can move barely. It takes a while to kill him, a second to kill him, and then your bounty hunters are better, but I don't hate him. I don't love him at all. Yeah, put him right here. Yeah, I think these guys might be too high in my ranking. I'll leave him here. He's definitely C tier. I know the other job with the Hutt later on is really cool, but this one, he's just too expensive for my taste. I do like that with fringe reinforcements, you can bring in you can choose your counter, which is great, to whatever your opponent does. But it's still so expensive. Oh my gosh. You could bring in a bounty hunter or several bounty hunters, which is good. So maybe I'm underselling him. He's still so expensive. I'll put him above IG-88. IG-88's cool. Really like him, but he's just too expensive for how fast he'll die, especially as a shooter. I'll go back. Never mind. Jawas so cheap, but they can do 30 damage to droids. That's kind of underrated. Like, they're really cheap, crappy stats, like way crappier stats than, Rebel Trooper, all that stuff. But Ion Gun plus 30, like, man, if you put on the right squads, they can do some damage. I'll put them in C tier. Not D tier units. Yeah, they're still kind of lousy for what they do, so good luck hitting a droid. But man, they're kind of nice. Where did I have this guy? Yeah, I'll put him right here. Yeah, I think that's fine. Jawas are decent. Lando. So the problem with this Lando, he has good stats. Double attacks, that's always nice to have. But his commander effect sucks because it's so specific to just Bespin guards. Bespin guards have bad attack, so that's great, I guess. But Bespin guards aren't going to kill anything. They're not going to do anything for you, really. They're just going to kind of hide with defense. So I feel like his commander effect's wasted. Not a fan. But for 16 points, the stats aren't bad, especially at this level. So I'll put him in C tier. I'll even put high C tier. But I like the utility of the job a little bit more. I'll put him right here. His commander effect, this guy's commander effect, the Rebel officer at least has some more utility, but I'm going to go with this. Princess Leia, Senator, big fan. I'll drop her bottom of A tier. 13 points. Not going to be doing a whole lot on this front, but I really like this commander effect. It's kind of like a poor man's mobile attack. You can do some nice things with this. So definitely A tier piece, in my opinion, at least for Rebel Storm level for sure. But yeah, all the way. Different story with this one. Princess Leia Captive, I think, is awful. Like, I know that's kind of harsh because she has a Force rating. She's some Force. She costs 13. That's really cheap to have 60 hit points. So maybe I'm being too harsh. I'm just gonna drop her top of D tier. She's better than these, but like, her defense is such where you're gonna die in like 10 seconds, and you're not gonna do any damage. So if you want a melee piece, you want to at least like kind of get up there and hit them hard before you die. She's not gonna do that. She'll tickle you, 10 damage, and then you're done. So, not a fan. Not a fan of this one. Luke Skywalker. This might be controversial. I hate this. I hate this Luke Skywalker. He's 17 points. Sure, he's a Force rating. Big deal. Like, can reroll on attack, I guess. And then he has 40 hit points. That's okay. He's fine. 17, 7, and 20. But his only power is impulsive shot. So you're depending on a unique character to die, which you probably don't want to have happen. But if it happens, you can make one immediate attack. I think this is terrible. I wish it was like, Blaster Barrage, where you can attack everybody once. I think that'd be kind of cool for him. But I would never use Luke Skywalker Rebel, ever. So I just think this power is kind of counterintuitive. Like, there are impulsive powers that are good or kind of more mixed, but this is just useless. I just don't care for it. He won't hit you anyway, so I'm not a fan. I think F is way too harsh, but it's my list, so whatever. Jedi Knight, yeah, he's B tier. The newer one's better, for sure. Put him right there. Yeah. Solid, solid on 90, 18, 10, 20. I like that. Basic powers. Leap, I guess, you can avoid those attacks of opportunity, whatever. Sweep's great. I like sweep sometimes for approaching groups. Yeah, he's B tier. I'm going to drop him a little bit. He's an okay Jedi. Not bad, but definitely not C tier. She's cool. Yeah, I'm going to put her. Yeah, she's really cool. Mara Jade. Let's put her top of A tier. I'm going to put her top of A tier. Yeah, for right now. Man, she holds up. So 20 points. So she can use Palpatine's Force for various things, and she runs out too. And Blaster Barrage is awesome. You can just shoot every legal target once. And she has cutting attack. So if you set this up right, then you can nail several targets. 13 attack, 20 damage. That's great. I'm a big fan. Big. I think this is great. I know Erica, the later version, is so much better, but I think for Rebel Storm level again, trying to be fair to this set, I think she's A tier piece, really awesome. Mon Calamari Mercenary. So you're getting basically the almost the Rebel Trooper stats for twice as much, and you have double attack, which you're not going to use because you'll be dead before you can use it. Because these things are kind of a joke. Having double attack and the decent-ish attack is nice, but I'll put them above Rebel Troopers. At least he can shoot twice. Nah, not great. Probe droids, A tier. I think an S tier. No, I'm not that crazy. I really like these. So cheap. They might be the cheapest. I don't think they're the cheapest recon. Definitely, it's probably been passed up by now, but they can shoot, sort of. They have recon, which is awesome. Just keep them in the back. You'll be winning initiative. They can fly, so that's always a plus. I wish they had stealth. That'd be really helpful. Maybe too strong, but that'd be really cool if these had stealth, even for a few more points. But for Rebel Storm, having recon, I think it was the first recon unit, really good. Let's see here. I'm already taking forever on this video. We're at 30 minutes. Gee whiz. Core Mercenary. I'm almost done. Not bad. Not a bad shooter at all. I'm going to put him in B tier. Cunning attack and mobile attack. That's great. I'm going to stick him. Yeah, I'll just keep it down here. That's pretty solid. I mean, you can get out of the way. You can get a good attack out, 20 damage. I don't hate that. B tier finds for me. Yeah, R2-D2. Did I seriously put him, before I put him in A tier, I'll throw him in S tier. I think having Override is just so powerful, and he can repair if you want, so that's there. Override is such a strong ability, and he's cheap, so I gotta stick him in there. Rebel Pilots, they don't excite me at all. They're a little bit better than these guys, I guess. Sure, I'll put them down here. It's nice to have, man, I don't know. Everything down in D tier just kind of crappy. I'll put these guys top of D tier. I do like Bodyguard for the Emperor. You know, the Emperor can be a little fragile. But for 11 points, 30 extra hit points for Bodyguard, there's a reason he's D tier. I mean, I like these pieces more. Scout Trooper, let's see. I kind of like these. Yeah, I kind of like these. I'll put them in C tier. Do I want to put C tier? Stealth's nice. They're not going to do any damage. But they aren't worth that much either. I'll put them, I like them more than the Rebel ones, just because they are a lot cheaper. I know they don't do as much, but I'll put them top of C tier. That might be too high, but I'll do top of C tier for now. Maybe B tier, I don't know. So this one is very similar. More defense, but a little less attack. So instead of being, I think the other one was 16.6, this one's 17.5. They're the same thing. I mean, I'd rather stay alive for a hair longer, so I'll just put them next to each other. But I like the Scout version more. Elite Snowtrooper, again, I like these ones more than... I like having that 17 defense for pretty much the same price, so I'll put them up here. I'll actually put them above... Nah, I'll put them right there. That's good. These are better than Hoth Troopers. Snowtroopers, same thing as a Stormtrooper, but just 20 more hit points. It doesn't matter that much. A lot of characters do 20 damage. Not in this set, but a lot of characters in general do 20 damage. Yeah, where did I put them before? I put them in D tier before. They're better than that. Yeah, they're better than the Hoth Trooper. They have good D. Yeah, they're better than me. Yeah. I'll put them like right here. Yeah, why not? I kind of like Snowtroopers. They look cool. Whatever. Stormtroopers, different story. 5-point piece, 16 defense, and then the 4 attack, which I'm not concerned about as much. You can buff that in a lot of ways. Having 16 defense on a 5-point piece just by himself doesn't have to qualify for anything. I think Stormtroopers are awesome. Super awesome. I know I was crazy earlier and I put them all the way in A tier, but I don't think I'm quite that bad. I'm going to put these things in B tier for sure. I'll put them above these. Benefit from so many commander effects. I'll put the other Stormtroopers with them. Really cool. Really, really cool. Love that high defense. That high defense is so nice, and they're cheap. So definitely B tier. I even can make an argument for A tier just for how you versus how they can be with different commanders. But I'll be not too crazy. Elite Stormtrooper. So you're paying double. You have the same defense, more attack, more damage, more hit points. whatever. I'll put them down here. I think, yeah. I like these ones more. I'll put them both above the Rebel Trooper, the Elite Rebel Trooper. Simply because, like, they just have better, I don't know. They're just better things you can do with them, in my opinion. I don't like heavy weapon at all. That's good damage, and the defense is still there, so that's really good. So maybe I'll put them bottom of C tier. I think D tier is too harsh, but I just hate heavy weapon. It just derails a unit. Stormtrooper Officer, these things are awesome. 14, amazing defense. Decent attack, get double attack, it's great. And you basically just kind of give all your troopers like a poor man, careful shot a little bit. And that's good. You can give your troopers who are in cover 20, they'll have 20 defense. They'll have 7 attack instead. Maybe do some combined fire, use some other commander effects to get a little more damage. But I think these things are pretty good. I'm going to definitely stick them. I'm going to put them up in B tier. I'll put them down just below them. Yeah, I don't dislike these guys at all. They're decent. Tarkin, though, man, I put him in C tier. So he's 11. Terrible stats. Has no effects. No commander bits. No abilities. Commander effect. Let's see here. That's nice. You can definitely, if you're seeing a person and you're not dead yet, you haven't been hit by accurate shot. That can be nice to kind of overwhelm the enemy, especially if you have a lot of people to use. But it's just so. I don't like the condition. I like this type of commander effect when you can choose when you want to use it, but because there's the condition attached to it, I like it a lot less. But it is a good one, and it's useful. I'll put him. I think I will still put him top of C tier. It is a good effect if you can get it to work, but I don't love the condition, and he doesn't do anything else. Tusken Raiders, I don't care about these. You'll never use Mighty Swing. You'll be dead before you do. So that's kind of useless. So you're basically just getting kind of a crappy person. I don't like these. You can buff them later, but honestly, I'm just going to put them down here. An F. Nah, they're not that bad. Let's put them down here. Yeah, that's good. Bodyguard. So the cool thing with these, they're cheaper than Emperor Bodyguard, but yeah, they're 1 point cheaper, and you can use them just the same. So, of course, they're not going to do any damage, but that's not what I want them for. I just want that hit points. So, sign me up. I'll take these guys over them. Again, for 10 for Bodyguard, I might even bump them to C tier just because it's pretty cheap to just add 30 hit points onto a unit. And that unit will have better defense than this. So, sure, why not? Twi'lek Scoundrel, these stink. You can use that cunning attack if you get close, but you have no stealth, so you'll be dead. I'll put him in F tier. I'm not a fan of these things. I love the Ithorian because he has stealth. He can get close, and they're cheaper. They're 6. So, yeah, sign me up for the Ithorian ones every day. These ones are garbage. You can pass them. So now we get to the Darth Vaders. This is a tough one because the stats are great. He has some of the best raw stats. The abilities are great, although kind of basic. And then sweep's okay. I'm not a fan of sweep with this combo. Like, yeah, you can move up to someone, maybe a group, hit them all. But you have triple attack. So when you are at the group, you're not going to need to use sweep ever. So I'm not a fan of the power. But he has great raw stats. He is expensive, 60. There's other Vaders that do the same thing for cheaper. But he does have triple. Other Vaders don't get triple attack till they're like in the 70s range. So I'll put him top of B tier. I was thinking A tier, but I like the utility of what these guys do more. I'll do very top of B tier. I think that's fair. Amazing hit points and stats, but he's kind of expensive. And I'm not a fan of his abilities. They're either not very useful, not exciting, or they're just kind of basic. Okay, Dark Jedi, Darth Vader. This guy's weird. I hate these commander effects. There's another Darth Vader, Champion of the Force, I think. Something like that. But I hate the commander effects where, you have whoopsies. Your allied character without a Force rating, Boba Fett hits a 1. So he's dead. I hate his Force power. I hate it so much. It's so bad. Maybe if you construct a squad to mitigate that disaster happening, But think about it. So you attack, that's a 5% chance you can roll a 1 in the first place. And if that character hits it, okay, your guys are a little bit better. It stacks. But I'm not going to rely on that. So I think this commander effect is not awesome. The stats are still solid. Double attack. I think he's too expensive for what he does. I would like to see this be a 50 maximum or less. Grip's great. It's a little bit of a jamage you could throw on there. I'd rather have sweep here than on this guy. But nah, he's kind of unforgivable. I'm going to throw him down in C tier. Like, he's a Darth Vader. He's decent-ish. I'll put him down here. Yeah. He's expensive. His commander effect is really sketchy. You'll stick with that. General Veers, straight to S tier. Yeah. How do I want to do this? I don't know. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. Veers is amazing. So he's kind of expensive, but he's got good hit points. That's really good to see that. But his commander effect's so nice. Especially it can be improved later on. But non-unique followers, which is probably most of your squad anyway, they all get accurate shot within 6 squares. Accurate shot is such a helpful power. And to just kind of give it to everybody, especially if they have great defense. They're not going to die, but they can shoot whoever they want to. Empire's got some good defense, especially in cover. So I think he's S tier. I think there's so many uses for this character, especially in later sets. He holds up so well. For Rebel Storm, he's an S tier character. Absolutely. And second to last piece, we're at the Wampa. Man, he's so cheap. He's got a lot of hit points for being cheap. The other Wampa has Ambush, which is so much better. Man. So by the time he gets to there, he might survive a round. He can attack. Maybe you'll get to use Rend. And the problem with this guy, though, is even if you do get to use Rend, it's only 40 damage total for the whole thing. And that's fine. For 13 points, it's okay. But Savage kind of hurts because he's not going to benefit from something else. So they're kind of fun, but I'll put him down here top of C tier. Like, that is a lot of hit points. That's solid defense. Having Rend and double attack, like, I'd take this guy over Bosk any day. Like, I know Bosk can shoot, but Bosk's never used double claw attack. Whereas this guy, when he's up there, he can use the Rend. Probably. I mean, he may not hit his target because 7 attack kind of stinks, but like, C tier. That's not really that great anyway. Most of these guys are C tier anyways. Where are we at now? Last one, Wookiee Soldier. Yeah, let's put these guys. Man, I don't love Wookiee Soldiers either. Cleave's nice, but 10 damage, you won't kill much. And they cost 7, so that's kind of expensive. 30 hit point, yeah, I'll put these guys down here. How crazy was that before? See, on my last tier list video, I put these guys, or my last tier list. Yeah, excuse me, I'm filming this like 10 p.m. And for me, that's late. I go to bed pretty early for work. So, yeah, it's a good thing we're almost done. For D, put him in D tier. Yeah, I'll put him down here. Cleave's nice, and they can benefit from some cool effects. Yeah, I'll put these guys. I like those shooters more. I don't know. Everyone in D tier stinks. There's some utility with these people, but I think that's it. Yeah, that's all. We're done for Rebel Storm. Yeah, thank you very much. If you're still watching this video, please, like and subscribe it. I'll be doing more of these. After this, I'll do Clone Strike. I really like that set. So I know Rebel Storm's the first set kind of sucks. But Clone Strike, there's some surprisingly good units in there for how old of a set it is. Looking forward to do that one. And there's 15 sets, so what I'm going to do all 15 sets. I don't know how frequently I'll upload. Maybe once a week, maybe every couple days. But then after that, if you have any requests, let me know. I'm not planning on doing any of the V sets offered on Blue Milk. I just think the power creep is too much. I'm not a fan. Maybe I will later on. We'll see. I definitely want to compare some characters. So as you know, there's a lot of I think there's 10 versions of Darth Vader or 12. So maybe later on I'll do some where I'll compare. I'll make a tier list of just Darth Vader, or maybe just a tier list of clone commanders or troopers or something, or some sort of unique unit like Obi-Wan Kenobi. I want to do that later on, but for now I'm just going to do I'll just do the sets for now. But yeah, thanks. Please like and subscribe. And yeah, comment. Please add comments. Please disagree. Hope you found this tier list kind of fun. And yeah, definitely check out these websites, Rebel Scum and Blue Milk, to just get more information. And also, you can also find, if you're interested, you can find my eBay is also Miniature Mike. Every once in a while, I'll sell some duplicate miniatures that I have. I usually try to do pretty good prices since these can be pricey these days, especially trying to find the kind of figures you want. But I got a small selection. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. Anyway, I'll see you next time.